This is an adventure 5 years in the making.
Some dreams are more difficult to achieve than others, and this one is like astronomical.
So when the Sea Hunter took off from East Boston to a World War II shipwreck they found off the coast of Cape Cod, their hearts were full of hope, their heads filled with ideas.
I'd like to open up my own welding shop.
My mom wants to redo her kitchen. That's about it, so she'll get that and maybe a new car.
You see, they believe the platinum and gold aboard Port Nicholson, the sunken British cargo ship they're heading towards, is worth $4 billion. As custodians of the wreck, each one of the crew stands to get at least $8 million. Of all the equipment that's on board, there are two very important pieces. This one here that will show them what's on the ocean floor, and this one that will pick up the loot they're looking for. They're not expecting to grab much this trip.
Our ultimate goal is to survey the area to make sure nothing's changed since last year. Make sure our buoys and our anchors are in place.
Knowing all the while the dangers at sea.
It could be just as simple as the cord getting wrapped around a guardrail down there, and you just lost $600,000 worth of equipment.
They'd like to pick up one bar of gold, which could help them upgrade their ship for their next voyage. A National Geographic crew will videotape it all. It's the first phase on this journey to the land of riches.
We're going to do it. Guaranteed.
In East Boston, Kimberly Bookman, News Center 5.
I don't know that 100% that it is platinum, but what I have seen is trapezoidal shaped ingots about the size of what platinum would be in amongst 30 crates, but that's in one pile. There's 4,600 of those ingots supposed to be aboard the ship.
You've been a shipwreck hunter, I think, haven't you, for 20 years or so. Is this the biggest one you've ever found?
It's the biggest one anybody's even dreamt about. It's unimaginable that there could be that kind of wealth under the sea. But if you do a lot of research, you'll find out that there's some out there that have even more on it.
And has it been a race? Are there other people like you chasing this same wreck?
No, not this wreck, because I have a federal admiralty claim on it, and so we're custodians of the wreck until it's fully salvaged, so no one else can touch our wreck. But there's other companies out there looking for similar type wrecks that they have information on, and it's pretty much on the same basis, but nowhere near as valuable.
All right. So just in terms of the legal entitlement to this, if you manage to bring it up, is it all yours? Do you suddenly become a billionaire, or are you one already?
No, I have a hard time rubbing two nickels together.
Well, you'll have a lot of platinum to rub together later on, perhaps.
I'm hoping so. No, what happens is it has to go in front of the federal judge, and what he'll look at is all the facts of this case. And basically the facts are, we did all the research. We know that this platinum was shipped by the USSR to the United States for a Lend-Lease payment. Well, we know that the ship didn't make it here. It was torpedoed by U-87 off the coast of Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Well, since then, the U.S. has been paid back that amount from the USSR. Now the USSR doesn't exist anymore. It broke up. So nobody really has a claim other than us at this moment.
I'm Greg Brooks, and I am the founding father of subsea research, and we're the guys that went out and found a British freighter carrying 71 tons of platinum sitting on the ocean floor 50 miles off Cape Cod, and we're here to bring it to the surface. Our ships are docked in Boston, Massachusetts. The whole crew is down on the ship.
So it's not the ejector sleeve then, right?
Several years ago, one of my researchers had come up with some information about a World War II vessel that was carrying a lot of precious cargo, but we weren't sure how much, and that it had been torpedoed off of Cape Cod.
We are here in Boston, and the wreck is here, so it's 100 miles roughly. It was coming from Nova Scotia on its way to New York. They got orders. It was in a convoy of 7 other ships. They got orders to go into Boston for some reason, and she was attacked by 2 German U-boats.
The name of the ship was the Port Nicholson, a British freighter. It was built like in the early 1900s. Well, I'm looking at it and saying, good God, I mean, if indeed there's 71 tons of platinum on board, that's worth a lot of money.
How much money?
$3 billion. So, you know, I can't comprehend $3 billion either. It's like, it's amazing, $3 billion. I mean, I can say it, but I don't know what it is.
These are 2 spotlights right here. Here we have the horn. What we're looking for is a 3-day weather window. Are we going to get in February? We hope so. We might not. It's going to be probably towards March, the beginning of March, I'd say. We've been using an ROV, which is an inspection class ROV, a remote operated vehicle that's tethered to the ship. And we fly the ROV down, which isn't really big enough to pick up a 150-pound box of platinum. But what we're trying to do is get a work class ROV, a bigger ROV, to start the whole salvage process. We do have a lot of skeptics out there. A lot of people just don't want to believe the story. We believe in it. My crew believes in it 100%. But there's always the namesayers out there that are going to say it's not there, it's too good to be true, why can't they do it?
Pretty cool, huh?
We're calling it bar 1 on the deck. That's our ultimate goal. Let's get bar 1 on the deck. Meaning, I mean, if we're there, we'll pull up all we can, but bring 1 up. Now here's the platinum. Now we've proved, there's no doubt there's platinum on this boat. Show the world, there's platinum here.
Once we put it on deck, who knows what's going to happen. We're going to fight our hardest to keep it because we've worked a long time on this, spent a lot of money on this project. So yeah, we're going to keep it. We're going to be happy. We're going to have a good time.
Well, after a series of setbacks, the Sea Hunter, filled with tons of donated goods from Mainers, finally reached Haitian earthquake victims earlier this week. The ship remains in Haiti, but the owner, Greg Brooks, flew back to Portland just last night. News 8's Cam Tran talked to Brooks about his challenging journey and tells us where the donations went.
Through all the hardship, sometimes you forget why we really started this mission.
But it's images like this which Sea Hunter Captain Greg Brooks said made the relief mission to Haiti worth it.
Then when you got there and you actually seen like the kids eating some of the stuff that we brought, it was really good feeling.
The 220-foot vessel left Portland on January 29th filled with tons of supplies Mainers donated to the victims of the Haitian earthquake. Due to a series of storms and bureaucratic setbacks, though, the 12-member crew didn't make it to Lacaille, Haiti until the end of February. And even when the ship was unloading the supplies destined for a Haitian orphanage, they ran into trouble.
There was 2 boats that were pirated. We filled them up, and as they went ashore, other boats pulled up to them and threw everybody on the boat off the boat into the sea and took their boat.
Despite the loss, Brooks said most of the food made it to the orphanage in Lacaille, which serves thousands of meals each day to nearly 900 children.
The thought of us being there and bringing stuff to them and to help them, and they were just happy. They were, and that rubs off on you when you see them. You know, but then when you leave them, you know, it's they all just stand there and look at you with those big eyes.
Looking back on his tumultuous trip down to Haiti, we asked Greg if he would consider doing anything different next time, and he says no. And as for another relief aid trip down to Haiti, he says he would consider it, but not anytime soon.
Well, a treasure hunter claims he discovered a World War II shipwreck carrying billions of dollars worth of platinum. But even if he retrieves the cargo, will he get to keep it? Molly Line is live in East Boston, Massachusetts with a look. Molly.
Hi, John. That's right. This story has a lot going for it. There's intrigue, there's adventure on the high seas, and as you mentioned, this sunken treasure with what the treasure hunters hope will be billions of dollars worth of platinum and gold. To talk about it with me is Greg Brooks. He is the co-founder of Subsea Research out of Maine, and they're the ones that found this ship. What makes you think you've got the right ship? You've got historical documents, and you've been looking for it.
Well, we know it's the right ship. We're positive. We've seen the name on the bow of the ship, which was the most exciting day I think we've ever had. We've seen boxes down there that match boxes of other bullion cargo that was brought off another wreck. We've seen trapezoidal ingots, which are precious metals. And the next step is to get out there and pull it up.
And how difficult is that? We're talking about a ship that's 700 feet down in an area that has, whipping currents and tough weather.
You got that right. If it was easy, everybody would do it. And this is probably the most difficult thing we've ever done. But it's doable. we have to just go out there between weather windows. We have to fight the currents. There's great white sharks swimming around our boat at times. So we've seen everything out there. But it's a hard job, but we're equipped to do it now, and we're getting ready.
And speaking of sharks, obviously there's something to be said for finders keepers here. Now, you would like to keep this treasure if you can bring it up to the surface, but there might be a lot of people interested in this. So how do you stake a claim?
Well, we filed a federal admiralty claim, and so far nobody's come forward in the last 2 years. Now, if they come forward after we bring it up, well, we know why they're coming forward then, is because they just want a piece of it. But we've covered all the bases legally. We've followed all the maritime laws, and we've done it right up to this point, and we're going to continue to do that and bring it up. So.
Well, this was a British merchant vessel sunk in 1942 by a German U-boat. It was a payment from the Russians to the U.S. So what about the different governments that could be involved here? Britain, Russia, the U.S.?
Well, see, what people fail to realize, it's a bank-to-bank transfer, not a government-to-government. So it was private banking that actually did the shipping. So the governments are standing there saying, well, it may be mine, it may be mine. They have no proof that it was. It was private banks, and the banks are no longer in existence.
Right.
So worst case scenario, we may have to pay back the value of the material when it was lost, which is around $50 million.
All right, Greg, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for joining me. Good luck on the rest
Finally,
of your
tonight,
adventure.
a story
John,
that could have come from the imagination of Robert Louis Stevenson. It's got sunken cargo, a determined treasure hunter, and a bit of a mystery. Seth Doan tells us it could end up with the richest haul from a shipwreck ever.
Aboard his 200-foot salvage ship, Sea Hunter, Greg Brooks calls himself a treasure hunter extraordinaire.
What are you searching for?
We're not searching for anything. We found $3 billion worth of platinum.
Brooks believes he's located the British merchant ship Port Nicholson. The ship was torpedoed by a German U-boat during World War II and sank about 50 miles off Cape Cod.
This is the area that we found the wreck in.
He's convinced it was secretly hauling 4,600 bars of platinum and gold, a wartime payment from the Soviets to America.
Back in 1942, when she sunk, they did not have the technology to go down and retrieve it. It was too deep.
In 700 feet of water, the team's robotic sub discovered wooden boxes in the wreck's debris field. Too heavy for the small sub to lift, Brooks believes they hold platinum and gold ingots.
What if you get out there and it turns out this isn't what you think it is? It's ammunition or something worthless.
If that does happen, and there's only, I think it's a very small chance, but there's always that chance, I'll go to another one.
The ship's official manifest lists only auto parts and military munitions, but Brooks produced this different cargo list, which he says he uncovered from declassified U.S. Treasury archives. Brooks edited the document to protect his trade secrets. He secured the rights to salvage the wreck, but with perhaps $3 billion at stake, he could face a fight in court over ownership.
So what's this?
It's a .50 caliber rifle.
He's even worried about pirates.
What we're talking about is a valuable treasure. You have to protect yourself.
In 19 years, Brooks has claimed several $1 million in treasure.
The hunt for the treasure keeps you excited every day. You know, you're out there and say, am I going to get some today?
For now, the crew waits for calmer seas, perhaps in mid-March, and the chance to solve this mystery of the deep. Seth Doan, CBS News, Boston.
Welcome back.
I know, huh?
How you doing, man?
Good.
You guys are.
So, what's the feeling to be back here now?
Fantastic. We started out on this mission 5-6 weeks ago, whatever it was. Seems like years ago, but we went through a lot of things to get there, but we finished it. We got all the things we set out to do done. Took a long time, but it's done now. It got finished this morning, and I just got home, so the ship's on its way back now. So we're all excited about it.
Never a thought, though, that after you hit the first obstacle, then the second, that you would turn back and not do this?
Well, there was a couple thoughts about it, especially when we were getting pounded around out there in the deep blue sea, and, you know,
the Coast Guard, and then the Haitian government, and I mean, it was one thing after another, but we just said, we've come this far, nobody's going to stop us, and they didn't. I mean, they tried, but we're Mainers, it doesn't happen. We just figure another way to do it, that's all.
What was it like when you finally were able to offload and see that you were doing what you set out to do to help so many people?
Well, we got to go actually see it. After we unloaded, I actually went to the orphanage and we saw the kids getting the stuff. And we saw the people that really needed it the most get it. And it was fantastic. It was a fantastic feeling to see them. And they all come up and they're grabbing you and hugging you. And my whole crew was there, and it's like, you know, we all just sat there on the back deck, and actually we all had tears in our eyes because it was hard, a very emotional trip. There was times we thought we were going to die. There was other times that were fun, sometimes were boring, but overall it was the most exciting thing I think we've ever done in our lives.
No regrets?
No regrets. I won't do it again tomorrow, but no regrets at the moment, no.
Talk about tomorrow. What are you going to do?
I'm going to try to sleep if I can, but I don't think that's going to happen. There's too many things going on, and I'm more worried about the boat until it gets back too.
You're tired though?
Oh yeah, it's. I was in Port-au-Prince all last night, and I saw the devastation there. Saw all the 10 cities and everything, and it's going to take a lot. But and we can't change the whole country, but what we did is change a little tiny piece of it, and we're all proud of that. And we're proud that the main people that brought the stuff down to us to get it there, we got it there. It was a little late, but we got it there, and it was needed. It was needed now as well as it was before. So everybody can feel good that they've got what they sent down there, and the people are using it as we speak.
Any thoughts on the bureaucratic process?
Excuse me?
All the bureaucracy stuff?
Oh, the bureaucracy was unbelievable. Besides the United States, which we'll talk about that at another time because I don't want the Coast Guard after me tonight. But that license thing was, I won't go into that too much. But and then in Haiti, what happened was, the first port we went to, they came out, they saw what we wanted, and they said, well, we'll let you give half of it to the orphanage, and we want to keep the other half. I said, that's not what we're down here for. And so we snuck out of there in the middle of the night because they were starting to get real nasty. So we snuck out of there and went to Lakai, and the same thing happened. And I said, no, I'm not going to do it. All those containers are going to the orphanage, period. And I thought we were going to have to throw the containers away afterwards, but we put them in little Haitian boats, and they got to the orphanage, and that amazed me to no end. So
they kept the containers too to use for
yes,
building supplies?
Yes. Well, they'll make classrooms out of them. So and I went to the orphanage, seen